Hey there, legendary souls. Welcome back to Unconventional Counseling. Okay, a few things. I just painted my office, and y'all, I am feeling it. It's got this like dark red, brown thing going. The door is green. If you can see it, I'm into it. I'm into it. I love a creative project, and I love a creative project that leads to greater functionality because I've got Virgo placements. And I know that in a recent video, I just want to give a little update. In a recent video, I was talking about my hair and feeling so insecure. And it felt really important to just say that I felt insecure and to put out a video anyway and to kind of talk to my hair as I'm talking to you all. And I know I said I was gonna just like let it be and let it grow and let it do its thing. I'm still gonna do all that, but I'm also gonna keep putting my twists in because I can, I just came to this space of I can. They're not the source of my confidence, they're not the source of my beauty. And also, I love long hair, and my hair is getting there. So I get to have both. Just a little update about me. Now let's get to you. All right, so this video in particular is going to be about, there's so much to say. Pisces Saturn placements. We all have them. Even if you don't have a particular planet in the sign of Pisces, you have one of your houses is connected to the sign of Pisces. This truly doesn't feel like a season of time. I would say like these 3 years, 2023 to 2026, this doesn't feel like a season of time to speak down in any way about Piscean energy, because Saturn will come for you. I'm just gonna put out the little PSA. Saturn will come for you. So if you have Pisces placements and it's really hard to be kind to yourself, this is the time to seek out affirmative messages, or this is the time to start putting affirmations up around in your space, because Saturn will come for you too if you speak down about you. And I can speak from personal experience. Saturn has come for me in terms of my creativity, in terms of the things that I like to do as a creative. So when I have spoken about myself as though, well, I can't do that, and does anybody want to see that? I don't even know what to say. No ideas come. That to me is Saturn kind of making what I've said feel even more visceral and even more true. And that's what I mean when I say Saturn will come for you. Not in a run, you need to be scared type of way, but just that what we are speaking about ourselves, what we're believing about ourselves, what we're believing about others in our world, it's heightened in a different way now. Like there is a strong confirmation bias happening right now. Like manifestation is at an all-time high, even within our thoughts and even within our beliefs, especially within our beliefs. This is a really amazing time to start nurturing and cultivating that inner subconscious, that psyche, that inner soil with the things that you want to grow. So I get it in terms of anxiety, shame, grief, negative self-talk, all being hard things. This might be a good time to take out your journal and to start to write out what you do want. Like that's your prompt. I want X. I want more of X. And if that feels too hard to answer, start with, I don't want this. And when you've got a whole list of what you don't want, start make a chart and then write, okay, this is what I don't want. What's the opposite of that? Because it's important, y'all. It's important. Today we're going to talk about how difficult it is for folks with Pisces placements to say no, or wherever it is that we have a Pisces energy. It's hard for us to say no. Pisces is just wants to grab everything. Pisces is a part of everything. Pisces is the phrase, everything is everything. That is Pisces energy right there. And Pisces is so community oriented and seeks to support community and be a part of community in such an impactful way, like truly like a life-changing type of way, that it can be really hard to say no. And so I spoke with someone recently who has Pisces energy, and I just asked them, like, what is it? What is it that makes it hard to say no? And, we got into some things, but I'm going to tell you the conglomeration of what I feel like I've been picking up within myself in terms of my creativity, within the energies that are going on, and within the people that I've spoken to that have told me time and time again, it's so hard to say no. So, for some reason, the word no, even though we've all been told in some spaces, or some of us have been told in some spaces that no is a complete sentence. Love that. So important. Whoa, yes, let's go, let's do it. However, saying no continues to be difficult when we're not in dynamics that feel abusive or where we don't want to insert an aspect of distance between ourselves and another. And that to me I find fascinating, because what is it about distance that creates within us this sense of separation almost, that creates within us this fear that we won't be able to come together again? And I think it's loss. I think it's the reminder, the memory of every time that we've lost someone, or every time that we've had to say goodbye in connection, whether because someone has transitioned, whether because there's been a breakup, a divorce, a separation, whether there's that we just don't talk, like we just don't go together anymore, we don't move together anymore, we don't fuck with each other anymore. Whether because we have changed or someone else has changed or both happened, that there's just this fundamental understanding that there are times when we can't go back. And I really sense that there is this, because language is hard sometimes, but there's this tangling, this interweaving, this knotting. There's this knotting that has happened over and over again because of the pains that we've endured collectively and individually, because of the ways that those pains have had to callous, because there hasn't been enough space for grief in our world today, that we believe that if we say no to someone, to something, or even to ourselves, that we're somehow being punitive, or we're somehow calling that other person abusive or wrong in some way. We're somehow communicating to them that we don't want them around, or that we're okay if they choose to no longer be in proximity or in relationship to us for the foreseeable future. Heavy, right? Right? I feel like most Pisces topics feel very heavy. And what I want to talk about just within that heaviness, that weight that we're dropping and that we're sitting in with together. Words, whatever, you get it, maybe, hopefully. What we're sitting in within that is like, what I hear, the affirmative that I hear within it is that there is this really deep sense that we need each other. Not in the codependent way that so many of us are trying to heal from, not in the enmeshed way that so many people in the psychological field have talked about closeness within family systems or communities, whatever. If you can't say no, there are no boundaries. So oftentimes there is enmeshment, oftentimes there is codependence. But really what I'm speaking to is there is this deep knowing that we need each other. But do we know what we need each other for? Not in a transactional way, but truly like, what do we need each other for? Do we just need to know that we're not alone in the world? Do we need to know that there's someone who knows that we're in pain or that we're in joy? Is it that we need to have a reflection within someone else's eyes that we exist or that we matter? Maybe it's all of the above. Maybe it's even more things. Maybe sometimes we just need to have someone close by so that the pervasive loneliness that can exist and that does in this world doesn't consume us in the same way. I don't have answers. I have more questions than answers. I'm asking. I'm just like, I think that each of us gets to answer for ourselves, or each of us will discover in time or over time. But we need each other. Like hyper independence is a thing of the past. Saturn being in Aquarius was really, really important. Saturn being in Capricorn was really, really important. And now that Pluto is in Aquarius and will be for the next 20 years, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel like Pluto being in Aquarius with Saturn in Pisces is bringing a different type of energy to community. It's like we need each other in the sense of community care. We need each other in the sense of mutual aid. We need each other in the sense of having work that means something to us as individuals, but means something to the people that we're supporting. We need each other so that capitalism doesn't just eat us all alive. We need each other so that we continue to try to make an impact in other people's lives and in our own that isn't just at the basis of productivity and acquiring more funds and things. We need each other to remain human, right? Because it's too easy. It's too easy to feel more robotic, to move as though we're more robotic, to expect things of ourselves at really high standards, to expect things of others at really high standards. It's too easy to hold grudges and to not forgive. It's too easy to be hateful and spiteful. It's too easy. We see it all the time. It's too easy. It is so much more difficult to be generous, to be graceful, to be forgiving, to be allowing. And then it's like, because all of that energy, it's more difficult in a way, but it's also a practice in and of itself. It is what Pisces is all about. But because it might feel more innate for you wherever you have your Pisces placement to be forgiving, to be allowing, then the question becomes, where is the no? Where is the line? When is it enough? If I know the atrocities of the world, if I know that that person is going through a hard time, if I know, or if I feel, or if I sense, or if I can just have the modicum of empathy that makes me a decent person, and I care, if I care, how can I say no? I think in the past, when Saturn was in Aquarius, or in even Capricorn, no was about self-preservation. No was about giving, for Saturn in Aquarius, no was about giving yourself the space to discover what would help you feel truly free, or would help you feel most authentic within yourself. But with Saturn in Pisces, it's like, how does it serve us in any way to hold grudges? How does it serve us in any way to cut people off? How does it serve us in any way? I mean, you might have answers. And if you have answers, you have answers. Those are the spaces to say no in. That's your answer, right? Those are the spaces to say no in. But if your question truly is and continues to be, how does it help us? How does it help us feel more whole? How does it help us feel more human? How does it help us feel more connected to expect someone else's capacity to be larger or more than it is? How does it help us in any way to only need complete reciprocity in community with certain folks, and otherwise we're just gonna say no to everything about them? What could it be like to find the yeses that you have in terms of your generosity and your forgivingness and all the grace and everything, and then to find the places where your stomach gets in knots, and to find the places where you start to get overwhelmed, and to find the places where things stop making sense and you start feeling really confused and disoriented? Maybe that's the place that your no resides, because it actually doesn't have to be your journey every single day to feel the weight of all of the world and to process it through your own body. It doesn't have to be. I've had so many teachers and guides and spiritualists tell me this when they've done readings for me over and over again, because I have been sensitive since jump. And they would tell me, this is going to impact your health down the line if you keep doing this in this way. So I've had to say no to energies. I've had to say no to like ancestral things coming in to be healed. Like, not today, not right now, or I only got an hour for this. Like, I've had to say no in the sense of boundaries around where I can have my energy and emotion flow. That's what I've had to say no around. And that shit's hard. It's hard. Saying no is hard. It's hard because every time you say no, you run the risk of someone being unsupportive. You run the risk of someone being punitive in a way that you're not trying to be. You run the risk of the dynamic between you and another, or you and another group, changing so dramatically that maybe you're the one who gets cut off. Maybe you're the one who's getting ghosted. Maybe you're the one who doesn't get responded to. Maybe you're the one who no longer belongs. Maybe you're the one who is separated from. And you don't want to feel that sense of loss again. What I've found over and over again in my journey is that I have to face all of my fears. Everything that I'm most afraid of, I have to face it. And I don't mean I have to because that's just how my heart is, and that's how my soul is, and that's how I'm set up. I mean, I have to because they show up in my world, and I feel like I can't do anything else until I face it, and until I move all the way through it, and until I grieve as much as I need to. That's how I'm set up with spirit. And the level of confidence that I have, the level of transparency and vulnerability that I have, the way that I can be so gentle and like still strong and all of that. And it's all things I'm still growing into. But the ways that I am is because I've had to face every single one of my fears. And every time I have, I've discovered that through the process, I can't be afraid of the thing anymore. I'm like, okay, so if that happens again, I know what to do. I face it again. And it's going to be hard. And I'll get through it because I survived. So that's my short, long answer to express to you that I get that it's really hard to say no. I get it. I get the terror and the fright and the paralysis and just the embodied, very visceral fear that you may experience around saying no or setting boundaries with certain people, certain places, certain energies, or certain communities. It is possible that you will be punished with separation. It is possible that you will feel immense grief in the process. It is possible that you will have to face a really big fear of not being connected in the way that helps you, in whatever way it helps you, because we all need each other. And you will get through the fear if you face it. You will get through learning to say no, because there are people who are ready to affirm you and who are excited to say yes when you say no. I'm one of them. Oh my goodness, I'm one of them. I said to multiple people with Pisces placements just this week, I am so excited whenever someone with Pisces energy says, straight out the gate, this is what I want. Can you do that with me, or can you do that for me? I love it so much. I love it so much. And I said to the people that I said this week, I was like, and I say yes every time, because I know how hard it is for them to say, I want this thing. Can that work for you? I know how hard it is, because you're so deeply considerate of another person, and you're so deeply just like not wanting anyone to feel harmed or maligned or slighted or taken advantage of, because you have felt that so many times. Like, I get it. You want people to feel protected and safe and comfortable. And I'm like, there are some people out here, and I know that I'm one of them, when it comes to you saying what you want and need directly and straight up, that are excited to collaborate with you, that are excited to affirm you in the process, that are excited to say yes to you. And I hope you find them. I hope you find them. I hope they become your community. I hope they become your lovers. I hope they become your care providers. I hope that they become your teachers and mentors. I hope that they become your healers. Because I'm excited every time I hear. I'm like, yes, yes, we can cancel that session. Yes, you can have that extra session. Yes, we can change your time. Yes. Yes, you can have a reading. Yes. Yes. So start affirming yourself, because there are some people out here who want to affirm you too. Your feelings are not too big, but remember, you need that affirmation, you need that encouragement, and you need that reassurance because you're sensitive. It's a hard time out here because Saturn is moving through Pisces. It's hard for everyone. All right. I will leave it here and I'll catch you in the future. Take really good care. Bye.